Hello everyone, welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. This is a daily ramble. I hope you are all well. As always, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and don't forget, drop a like on the video. That's the most important bit. It tells YouTube to share it around. Who are we not buying today then? I'm seeing loads and loads of names. I've been told about a few as well. I'm not going to bother reporting on any of them. You're seeing it on other channels at the moment. I'm not mocking anyone for doing it. You know, a couple of names are getting people excited and I can see why. You know, you go from Josh Brownhill, which has now apparently been debunked. So we've gone from 90% certain to signing this player to now I don't know where that story's come from. Well, it's come from you. It's all originated from the same place. They're just playing games with us. They've obviously put feelers out there, or they're just trying to rile up the fan base. He's probably sitting on his yacht, taking the piss out of us. That's what he's doing. But no, the good news is, from my part, is that Josh Brownhill now is unlikely. Is unlikely, so that's good. But we're linked now with other players, more realistic. Well, I don't know if it's realistic, but more desirable players, such as Hayden Hackney. You know, we know that we've still got Anya Corey for central midfield as well. Those are the profiles of players that we want if we're going to be going out and adding players to our squad, not Josh Brownhill and players like that. Thanks. No. I know there were some people that thought it would have been a good deal. But we're not Blackburn Rovers, you know, we're West Ham. And people saying, look, I'm going to defend James Ward-Prowse here. People are saying, Josh Brownhill's better than James Ward-Prowse. Well, I'm sorry, has Josh Brownhill ever been on the radar of England? Has he ever been mentioned in the same breath as the England squad? I don't think so. No, he hasn't. James Ward-Prowse has played for England. So James Ward-Prowse is a better player. I think, would Josh Brownhill be more suited to us? A bit more energy, I suppose. But no, and James Ward-Prowse ain't good enough. So what would we be going and getting him for? Anyway. Yeah, you're getting ITKs are sort of fighting at the moment as well, which I'm stepping away from. I dipped my toes in the ITK water in January, didn't I? There's no point because nothing ever comes off. You go out there, you mention 100 names, one might come off if you're lucky. And then, what, you claim some sort of victory? You can't. You know, if you throw enough fucking darts at the ball, at some point you're going to hit the bullseye. So, for me, as it stands, I can't be arsed reporting on player transfers because it's been made clear on several occasions now that there is no money to spend unless we sell. I'm not going to say that we're skint because we're not. I'm not going to say that we haven't got any money. I'm not going to say that it's PSR. I'm not going to say that they're telling the truth about any of the excuses that they're giving. But now Jacob Steinberg's come out. It's quite clear Sullivan ain't going to buy any players until we sell them. And I did say before the window opened that he would drag out Mohamed Kudus throughout the entire window. Or try to, anyway. To get as close to that 85 million as he can get. So that will lead us into David Sullivan territory. Because a majority of the targets Macaulay and Potter have probably got lined up, which are probably the likes of Stassin and, you know, Hayden Hackney and players of that profile. They'll no longer be available. We'll miss out on them targets. Oh no, what a shame. Let's go and buy Mbolo, who's more injury prone than Andy Carroll, you know. That's probably what is going to happen. That is my prediction. So, yeah, I feel sorry for Potter at this point. I do, because you kind of... I do think he's useless. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going back on anything that I've said. But you can't not feel sorry for him. He struggled with that squad that he had with all those players in it. It's going to be a worse team. It's not going to go well for him next year. It's not. I think, depending on how it goes over the summer, and depending on how switched on he is and how much he wants to salvage his own reputation, if, let's just assume that Potter is going to get angry at the way that this window plays out, I wouldn't put it past him to walk away to try and salvage his own name and his own career, because he may look at it as though he's being thrown under a bus, because he is, but he might see it. He might think, no, they're not backing me here. They know I struggled last year. They know I want this type of player. They know what we're trying to do. What's going on here? I think it would probably be better for him and his career at that point if he just went, you know what, you're on your own, Sullivan. I'd rate him for it. I would. It would expose the little man. It would expose him. Not that he cares about being exposed. I mean, we all know what a little shitbag he is, don't we? But yeah, it's not going to be an easy job for him. He's going to have no pre-season with these amazing new players. The existing players that we've currently got all know that Potter don't want them now. because everyone is available for transfer except for Bowen and Wan-Bissaka, which means, by definition, Potter's gone, don't really fancy that lot. So that's not great for Potter. He's now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Obviously, the news came out about Mickey. Very, very sad, some of the angles that people are taking with this, because, again, you've got some people that crow about the board and this, that, the other, but then very selectively, they'll swallow what the board are giving them, which is information to paint Antonio and Aguerd as villains. We do it every time a player is going to be leaving this club. We'll leak something out to paint them as a villain so that fans turn on them. We do it every time. It doesn't need to be done. Antonio's been a fantastic servant for this club. If he wants to move on now and have a fresh start after his life was nearly ended in a car accident, do you know what, Mickey? You go with my best wishes, mate. You owe us nothing. You owe us absolutely nothing. Thank you very much. If you're not here next year, which I don't think you will be, good luck on future endeavours. West Ham fans, show a bit of class for Mickey. Come on. A lot of people just want to jump on a bandwagon and start having a go at people. They've done the same with Aguerd. He's threatened to not come back to training. No, read between the lines. We've decided we want to sell him. Not Potter, Sullivan. Decided we want to sell him. There's a lot of fans that would like Aguerd to come back. So what better way to completely make that impossible than paint him as a villain? There you go. Why do them stories need to be leaked? Again, comes from club sources. Doesn't come from anywhere else. Club sources. So, yeah, it's going to be a long, painful, annoying window waiting for the season to start. It really is. I don't even know. When's that US tour? Because you would imagine that Potter would want to have a portion of his players that he apparently is going to have next season in that team. I mean, the way it's going at the moment, we ain't going to see many changes. We're going to have a thinner squad, but don't forget Potter has come out already and said he thought the squad was too big. He wanted a squad closer to sort of 20, 21 players. We ain't far off that. He ain't far off that now. So if that's what he wants, you know, he's got players in every position if he wants to stick with what he's got, which we know he doesn't. But he could end up going into next season with the same squad. Personally, between me and you, I would rather that. I'd rather us add to what we've got rather than start selling players now. There's certain players I'd like to see go, as we've already said. I'd like to see Kilman go. Ain't going to happen because that would sting our PSR to make such a big loss on an expensive player so quickly. You can't get away with stuff like that. So I think we're stuck with him. I'd love to see James Ward-Prowse go, but who's buying him? Who's going to take his 125 grand a week wages off of us? I've already said on another show, we loaned him to Newcastle. They give him back. They didn't want him. So, yeah, I think we're stuck with a lot of these players. Maybe Guido might go because he'll probably want to just get out of the country and go somewhere else. There's news that Fulkrug does want to leave. Juventus are interested in him. That story was about a few days ago, but it's still there, so maybe there's some legs in that. But we're not going to get a lot of money for him. So I'd rather keep him. I'd rather keep Fulkrug. But again, do you want to be in a situation where you've got so many players that are so unhappy? Because there's a lot of people out there at the minute that are unhappy with this club. We're fuming. We're slagging the board off. We're doing this and we're doing that. And then what we do is we turn around and we have a go at players that want to leave. Can you imagine being employed in this scenario? We're tied to West Ham. We've got nowhere else to go. That's why we're so angry. But these players, they're training in fucking porter cabins. You've got all this mess. They're playing for a club that are showing no ambition, that are played in poverty, and we're having a go at them that they want to leave. If they don't want to wear the shirt, then they can go. Newsflash. No one wants to wear the fucking shirt unless they're a West Ham fan, unless you give them a big, chunky wedge of cash. It's all money. It's all money, all right? Now, what can happen is fans can build up a relationship with players. Yes, we can. But ultimately, when it does come down to it, this is a job to players now. They earn too much money. So I do think that argument's null and void. I know there's a lot of people at the moment that are slagging off Kudus. On what planet, if you're Mohamed Kudus, do you want to stay at West Ham? I don't get it. It's double standards. It really is. We want to sell him But don't sell him to Arsenal. He can't go to Arsenal. I ran a poll as well on Claret and Booze Live the other night, and most people wanted him to go. We wanted to sell him. For some reason, he is unliked. He's disliked at West Ham by a big portion of fans. I don't know why. I really, really can't wrap my head around it. So then you can't complain and get the ump if he's going to go to a rival, because you know deep down what's going to happen if Kudus goes to an Arsenal or a Chelsea or, heaven forbid, a Spurs. Because he can go anywhere if they trigger his release contract, the clause in it. We can't stipulate where he goes. He can go anywhere. You know he's going to turn to absolute fucking gold. So rather than focusing on the problem at hand, which is the fact that the club is a mess, it's an absolute mess, we've created an environment that players do not want to exist in, why not focus on that problem than shooting all the players that want to leave what is a sinking ship? And you can't blame them for it. You literally can't. Again, with Kudus, if he goes, he goes with my best wishes, because a lot of the fans don't like him. And I think it's unjust. I really do. You can't... He was no worse than 90% of the rest of the West Ham players last year, but people focus on Kudus. Doesn't make any sense, does it? But yeah, so there is a survey. A very, very good survey, a very important survey. You'll find the link to it in the description of this video. It's for West Ham fans that have been to the stadium that are season tickets, that were season ticket holders. It's basically what your thoughts are of the experience over there. It's a target to present information to the board with unfiltered responses to very good questions. It takes about 5 minutes to fill it out, on what the fans want to improve the matchday experience. So it's really important. It's not going to get filtered down. It's not going to get cleansed, because it's all being run properly by West Ham run people. Like I said, Hammers United. You can go and search up Hammers United on Twitter, on Facebook, on whatever else, and then you'll find you'll find it there. But you'll also find it in the link of this video. They want to get to around about 6,000 responses, which will make it meaningful. So please, 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 even if you've given up your season ticket, go on there and say why you've given it up. Have your say. All right? Okay, look, that is it from me. I'm sorry I haven't got any breaking news, because there ain't going to be any breaking news. There's not. There'll be loads tomorrow. We're going to be linked with 5 new players that are coming in tomorrow. But ultimately, we've been told, until players leave, we ain't signing anyone. So the only headline that you should be looking for is Mohamed Kudus sold to Arsenal or Chelsea or Aguirre. That's the only way we can then start thinking, all right, hang on a minute, we'll I mean, all we're doing is flagging our interest in other players to other clubs. That's all we're doing at the moment. You know, somehow the players that we are linked with is being leaked in the press. We can't do anything with these players yet. So we're alerting every other club of our targets that we can't move on yet. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, look, that is it from me. I'll let you all go. Speak to you soon. Go with your heads.